Alright, let's get this started. Appreciate the follow there, 8th Bait. Hope everyone's having a good day or evening, depending on where you are. And tonight we're going to be going after some carp in Oldberg, trying out some different rig types. I'm going to start with trying to get some, trying the inline rig that I haven't used yet before. See if we can get some decent black and grass carp out, and probably go after a few bleak and rough for some of the cafe orders while we're out here. Hey Dashlor, how you doing? Catching any good fish today? Alright, let's go out here. This spot out here is pretty good for us last time. Net full of carp, nice, that's what I like to hear. Alright, I'm going to try some algae on the smaller rod. So I'm giving the inline rigs a try here, and might try some snowman rigs as well. Just to mix it up a bit, see if we have better bite rates on those than the bottom rods have been getting lately. Where you been fishing for the carp at? Amber? Very nice, very nice. Let's see. What level is Amber unlocked at? It's 26? Got a ways to go yet before I can have the fun out there. Hopefully Bear will wake up again soon. It was dead the last couple times I tried. Looks like the algae's got something. First fish of the night. Tiny whatever it is, probably. Say tench. Alright. Not a bad tench either. Something's going after the potatoes. So looks like this spot over here is still pretty hot. Not much going after the fly, but nighttime, not surprised. Might actually switch that out to a worm. Better than carp, you say? The tench? I know sometimes those tench can be scary though. I've lost many a telescopic line to those. Once they hit, it's over on them. It's too big for your line. There we go. I'm gonna get something decent to start with on the potatoes here. There we go. Almost 4 kilo grass carp. I think we can round it up. Say it's 4. Still saving up to get the second decent rod put together I think instead of saving all the way up for the HSV, I probably will go ahead and just do another Titan Fortuna combo so I can go ahead and start getting 2 heavy duty rods out to help with the carp intake. And the Titan wood can be used for trolling in some of the earlier areas like Quarry anyways, so it should be fine. Not much going on with the telescopic over here. Might, just for the heck of it, let's see if we can attract an eel on the telescopic rod. Get a decent size hook. Any lily pads near here? Perfect, perfect. Those just joining, we're just doing a little little experimenting out at Old Berg with some different rig types that I don't usually use. Slimmy stocking. I need to also remember to put a bigger float on here. I don't expect I'll catch anything on there, but worth a try. Nothing much else in this area to catch at nighttime on a telescopic. But see how it goes. I haven't checked the hotspot reports lately to see if anybody's found some good updated spots here at Bear Lake since the update a few days ago. But I might try my usual spot up in the top left corner again once daylight comes around, see if it's still decent. Doesn't hurt to gather some more bait while we wait. Which is something I'm probably going to focus on next week, is getting my bait harvesting up to 70% and get ground bait up to at least 50, if not 60. And look into doing a second trip out to the Norwegian Sea. There's not much action going on over here at Old Berg right now. Yeah, it's I know spin fishing is kind of right now the preferred way early game to make silver and gain levels, but can't go wrong with bottom fishing for some big carp, especially when they're bigger than your reel can handle. I love those kind of fights. Float fishing, a lot of my gains from that have been from filling bleak orders, because there's almost always on all the lakes an order for bleak. So it's nice, easy silver. Just toss my telescopic out there. Do you have any a favorite body of water you fish on, 8th bait? Trolling Quarry? Yep, that's the I honestly, I haven't been to Quarry yet myself, but I do. If not for the fish, I need to get out there for the cheeses for making baits. Oh, we lost whatever was on there. Go ahead and recast it. I'm guessing inline rigs don't set the hook on their own quite as fast. Yeah, that's definitely my advice if you want some profitable ways to gain your float fishing up. Just get you some flies and go after bleaks on Winding, Mosquito, even here at Old Berg, because there's always good orders for those. Nice easy catches. And the silver for them, honestly, is usually pretty decent. They're 40 to 70 silver for a handful of minnows, basically. Which now that the daylight's coming up, I'll probably actually move over there to the bridge and switch to trying to catch some of those for an order. Since the attempt at some eels did not go so well, that's alright, didn't expect it to. Area, yeah, this depth should be fine. Should be able to hear the bells ringing from here. So the interesting thing I have found about float fishing, and I think probably by design, is that when you're in an area where there is a decent amount of fish biting on whatever you're casting out there, it seems to have a quicker bite rate than most than spin fishing and bottom fishing does. Like if I toss a bottom fishing like right now, I can tell there's probably nothing hitting right now. Usually when you're in a hot spot with float fishing, within 5 seconds something's nibbling on it, which is nice. But it can be difficult to find a good spot for them, that's for sure, with all the last update seems to have put a lot of the good bottom fishing spots to sleep on some of the early lakes. The harder part really is finding a good deal on flies. Most of the time they're always sold out unless you get the batch of like 300 for 100 silver, which will last you a long time, but it's also an intimidating amount of flies to have to go through. Usually on one side of this bridge I'll have bleak hitting, but with this latest update, I still haven't quite found where everything has moved their preferred spots to. Nice trick shot off of the bridge there. I hear one of the bells going off. Yeah, it can be it can definitely be slow going early on with the bottom fishing. Get one. Yep, got a tiny little bleak there. Let's see what's on these. Honestly, despite what the map ratings say, I actually had better luck with bottom fishing on Winding Rivulet than I did on Mosquito. So I actually did most of my early bottom training there. So I got another tench. Ooh, that one was almost 2 kilos. So it looks like tench are hitting pretty hot right here, which means if I put a setup out there that was, I believe, Esterberry Jam and something else there, it's a pretty easy combo for them out here. Yeah, the luck you had with bottom fishing, that's the luck I seem to have when I go to Belaya. I have been to Belaya, I probably spent maybe 3 hours there, and in all those hours, maybe caught 5 fish. And that's trying spinning, bottom, and float. Just nothing wants to bite for me out there for some reason. Yeah, it's true. I was if you're high enough to go out to Volker, then it shouldn't be an issue. But down at these early ones like Oldberg, Mosquito, and Winding, it's hard to find the cheap, lower count flies in stock. Yeah, it's weird. Some people have a ton of luck at Belaya, and then some of us have quite the opposite. Now, if you want to have some fun with bottom fishing, which is what one of my setups over there is actually on, it's real cheap. You can put together the Palmer FD. You can get one of the longer ones. I got the cheapest one I could get because I wanted to get it as quick as possible. Get that and the Adriatica, and you'll have fights that'll take you across the lake. But it feels so good when you finally pull something in on this one. This little Adriatica with its 7.5 kilo max drag is what I caught my largest fish on to date, which was this 14.7 kilo grass carp. That thing took me all across Oldberg, and it's not great XP or silver for the time spent, but I find it pretty fun to chase them like that, and you have to watch your line because your line will heat up, so you don't want your line to overheat and burn up, so you're watching that out for that, changing your friction brake settings the whole time. It's a real active fight that way, which I think is probably like, I've taken one trip out to the Norwegian seas so far, and if there's one complaint I have about it, which may not be the case, I guess, when you unlock the higher level like boat rods and stuff like that, but the stuff you get with the rental the actual fight of the fish is kind of just let it go straight down and then reel it straight up, which is not the most exciting fights in my opinion. But I guess once you start landing some of like the Greenland sharks and beagles and such, it can get a lot more intense. All right, what do we got? We have another tench on here. Ooh, if it is, it's a big one. This is our best fight so far tonight. Looks like it was a grass carp. Yeah, this is the Adriatica setup here. Yeah, I hear you, Dash Laura. It's I mean, it's interesting to see some of the steps. Like when I went out there, I was doing a lot of like chasing fish by the sonar depths and stuff like that to try to keep it a little more interesting. But it's definitely not the most riveting entertainment. Nice, got a trophy out there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I plan on doing my second trip out there probably next week, just to get me some more silver on my start towards getting a second Titan reel. All right, so I'm gonna guess this grass carp here is probably about 5 to 6 kilos. Let's go into that bridge. Yeah, this I find to be a much more exciting way to fight the fish, where you're having to chase them down and keep them from taking to trouble spots and stuff like that. If I just had like a longer net, I could just reach out there and get it. Come on. Alright, oh, yep, so there's where it starts heating the line up, so you gotta loosen it, give it some slack, and keep it nice and active. And this one might be a little bigger than I originally thought. Probably still not much bigger than a 7. Absolutely. This poor Adriatica I've put through the ringer so many times. I've been tempted a couple times to do the carbon brake upgrades that increase it to 9 kilos of max drag. It's like 79 silver, but I think for that price, it's just, if it was like more around 40 to 50 silver, I'd probably do it. Hey, gamer. And then got the first big grass carp on here just in time for you, but only have a few minutes. You getting some good fishing in today at least? Oh, the archipelago died? That's sad to hear. Bear Lake's been real dead too, but I had this spot over here at Old Berg still doing its thing. The old Adriatica here, going through another miserable time. I've been trying out the switching to inline rig instead of the basic bottom rig to see how that does. This will be the first carp of the night. We've caught a few tench. That's about it. And a bleak. Ooh, this one is really lighting the reel up. Oh, I hear the potato line going off now too. Feels like this one's starting to wear out though. Now to just drag its sleepy carcass across the lake. Alright, I may need to go across the bridge and keep this thing from spooling me. This, I've never seen one lighten my line up so much. This might be even more decent than the 7 kilos. Might be Might be a 9 or 10 kilo grass carp on here. Definitely going to have to go across the bridge and get over there to keep him from spooling me, though. This poor line and reel is not happy. It's one of those times where you wish you could take a boat out on this lake. All right, let's give it some more friction while I walk it in. We want to start the pool here. Everybody give their guesses on how big this carp's going to be. I'm going to say 9.4 kilos. That's going to be my guess. Way out there. Still running with it. Looks like it's worn out though now. Not putting up much of a fight. Now I just need to get a good spot to reel them in. Alright, here we go. Yeah, it's fun, and part of this is using my other rod is a Titan, so bringing this fish in on that would be nowhere near as much of a fight, but still a decent fight to it. And there's definitely a lot of playing around with your friction brake the whole time to make sure you're putting as much force on the fish as you can without completely reaming your line. I've had one I actually caught. This is my usual spot over here between the island and this spot. I got a common carp on the line that took me all the way around this long side of the map here, out to a bridge in the distance, and back across to essentially where I started over there by that bridge. That was a heck of a fight. Here we go. What do we have? What do we have here? 8.4. I was 1 kilo off. Not a bad carp though. For the first one of the stream, I'll take it. Now to see what was on that other line. They had an athletic skill for running. I think my character would be maxed on it already. So when you get into bottom fishing, making your own ground baits is pretty crucial, but luckily training that up's not too bad. You can just buy some feed once you get to level 10 in it over at Winding Rivulet from the farmer's market, and you can train it up pretty quick. Alright, what we have on here? Wow. What What a fish. What a fish. And that one was on the bigger hook too. Alright, well it seems like the grass carp are still active in this spot right here in addition to the tench. So we'll hang out here a little while longer and see if we can't catch some more bleak over there by the dock. Or bridge, I should say. Have the old cucumber action there. Sounds like yep, I already got something on the potato. All right. Looks like a little common carp. Yep. 3.67 kilo common carp, not bad. Looks like the bite rate's picking up right now. Go. Oh, looks like we got another big one on. Not quite as big as the last one, though. Or maybe it was just a false alarm. 2.6 kilo carp. Not terrible. Oh yeah, bite rate is definitely picked up now. So yeah, 8th bait, if you're going to pick up some bottom fishing, this is what I recommend. Just always keep 2 bottom rods out, and then either spin fish or float fish with the 3rd one. That way you can still be training those fishing skills. Yeah, it's all about finding some spots where this fish like to go, and also the bait is very crucial. But there's some trends, for instance, like grass carp. If you can find a spot where there's algae and grass growing, usually you're going to get some bite rate. And the time of day certainly matters as well. You saw through the night here, we didn't get anything hitting, but now that it's daylight, we're getting a lot of hits. But the spot that I find is very, very active in Oldberg most of the time is this area right up here. If you cast out, if you're on this bank and cast out towards the shoreline of the island, there's usually stuff hitting out there. Another little grass carp, not even 2 kilos. That one will probably be turned into bait. And the other great thing about the bottom feeding is you have plenty of time to gather up your own bait with the shovel and the scoop, which if you haven't leveled up your bait harvesting up, that'll get it up to level 30 pretty easily, just doing that in between your casts and reeling in. Alright, so all those are settled down a little bit. I'm going to head back over to the bridge. Try to get some more bleak to try and fill that cafe order. Oh, of course, as soon as I walk away, they start ringing. That's alright. Yeah, once you get to above about 30-35%, crafting's about the best way to do it, which, if I remember correctly, the stuff I was crafting, I made a lot of egg dough because it's really cheap, and I meant to make honey dough, but I never got around to it. But egg dough is a cheap one to get and is a fairly useful bait, so that should get you up to about 60%. There if there's something actually on. Okay, that might have been a snag or something there. All right, let's see what we got on the potato line first. Ooh, something putting up this much of a fight on the Titans. Good sign. There we go, 6.6 kilo grass carp. Whatever's trying to go after the algae, I guess just can't quite make up its mind if it really wants to eat right now or not. I'm scared to pick it up and check to see if it's actually on the hook or not. Maybe. Let's see if it's on there. Nope. That's always the concern that you pick it up to see if it's actually hooked or not. And if they aren't, you gotta wait for them to try and bite again. Yeah, that's the nice thing about the bottom rigs. You kind of just leave them out there and mess with your floater or your spinning rod because the fish take the hook. It's going to auto hook them and leave them on there, so you can keep doing what you're doing until you're ready to pick it up and reel it in. Whereas with float fishing and spin fishing, you kind of have to, once something's on there, you got to go ahead and reel them in at that time or risk losing them. So I got a decent bleak here. All right, 56. I think the order right now is for 72 or bigger, so they're for the really big bleak, but sometimes we can get those out here. Yeah, that's where I was talking about, like, if you're in an area that's active for float fishing, it seems like they just almost immediately spawn and start nibbling. And in the winding rivulets, especially nice because they'll have those bleak orders, and the area right there next to the cafe is usually pretty active for bleak and mussel, so you can knock two of those common orders out within steps of the cafe, which is nice. Yeah. Changed its mind. Try recasting. For this one to go after bleak, I'm using a 22 on the bottom rods. I've got a size 4 on the potato, and on the other one is a 6 or an 8. 8 on the other one. Not quite ready to go up to size 1 out here because you can get some of those 20 kilo carp that even my Titan reel isn't quite ready for. Sounds like getting a bite over here. There we go. .2 kilo grass carp. It's pretty decent XP as well. Getting these pulled in. Also, you can pretty reliably catch bream on bottom feeding, which I think is what most people are doing in the early to mid game with bottom feeding. Is just catching a lot of bream to turn in for silver and get their bottom fishing skill up. I haven't checked since the update. The last time last week, this area over here on Oldburg was really active for bream on bottom fishing. Well, those are set. Go back to trying to catch some more bleak. Have some cucumbers. The snack of champions. Yeah, if you get flies and some size 22 and 24 hooks for telescopic fishing, that'll be very helpful for bleak, gudgeon, dace, and frog are all easy targets to go after with that combo. One of the bottom rods is ringing again. Ooh, something ran with this one. What do we got? Speak of the devil, there's a frog. Which I think there may be an order up for a frog. I'm not sure which size, though. Let's see, looks like it's the potato one again. So it seems like the algae's more active in the early morning, whereas once the sun's up, the potatoes are being the better bait. Alright, we got something real decent on here now. Another grass carp. What's really nice is if you manage to get a black carp, those are really good XP and silver. Nice, got a skill gain, some good XP, and a 10 kilo carp to go with it. That's what I like to see. So I'm going to go ahead, since the potatoes seem to be a little more active right now, I'm going to go ahead and switch the other rod to potato. Okay. Try to get another bleak over here. Goodness. Didn't even make it to the bridge before they started biting. Who's ringing? I think number 2 is running. Yep. Time to put the old Adriatica probably through a heck of a fight again. Oh, I lost it. Took it into her. So looks like I'm used to using the simple rig. This inline rig doesn't seem to hook quite as quickly as the basic rig does. So I'll have to get used to that. It's out there. Oh, appreciate the tea there, 8th. Never have too much tea. I'm soon going to have to upgrade to making coffee for for when the carp are very active, getting those back-to-back fights, wearing out all my energy. I know it. I've made a lot and used a lot. Sounds like one of the bottom rods has a fish on again. Oh, don't worry about that. I want to use some to probably next week when I go premium for a few days to do the deep sea fishing again. I'm gonna go ahead and make a bunch of coffee myself and try to get some more cooking XP out of it. All right, looks like this is dried up a little bit. Let's see what's on the bottom rods. Who's ringing? Yep, tea and cucumbers, easy XP, and a not very nutritious meal. All right, well, I guess that was a false alarm. My poor character's nutritional needs are surely not being met on a diet of pure cucumbers and tea. One day I'll treat the poor guy to some marshmallows on a stick or something. So my next milestones as far as bottom fishing and float fishing, let's see. Carp hair rig, probably, I guess, match rods for float fishing is at 60%. I'm a good ways away from that. And then carp rods at 60% for bottom fishing, which I'm definitely looking forward to because that's when you can start getting some really strong rods to go after really big fish. There we go. Took it in too soon. One downside of float fishing is sometimes it'll seem like the fish is on and running with the bobber, but it's just not quite on yet. So far we've got mostly grass carp, which is what I like to see. Common carp are smaller, but they put up a heck of a fight for the weight. Yeah, my policy is for if I know a spot's active on a telescopic, if I don't get a hit within like 15 seconds, just recast. Looks like it's getting late in the day, so once nighttime comes, we might try shifting to another spot to see if we have a little better luck since this area was pretty dead at nighttime. Here we go, getting some nibbles. Come on, fish, take the whole thing. You know you want it. There we go. Another bleak, it looks like. Nope, little roach. Tiny, tiny roach. I hear one of the other rods going off over there, but I'm not convinced it's hooked yet, so we'll try another cast. Yeah, eighth. I would definitely recommend if you've got the silver, go ahead and get at least a Titan reel for bottom fishing. But if not, as you've seen, the Adriatica will work and it'll give you some fun fights. Just be prepared for some of those fights to be 15 minutes long, chasing around the lake. A little bit bigger roach. Cucumber up and check the bottom rods. something on the potato over here. Little tiny grass carp. Not even 2 kilos. Probably become a fillet of meat. Alright, so since it seems like the roaches have moved in over there and pushed the bleak out, let's do a little bit of spin fishing down this little section. See if we can catch some perch or something while we wait for something to get on the lines. And I probably just set myself up for a snag. Okay, good. I'm going to cross that board or whatever that is over there. Not quite getting jig step on this run. There we go. Really don't have a lot of luck in this section with spin fishing, but every now and then something hits. And I could definitely use some spin fishing XP. Oh. Lost whatever that was. There we go. Little perch. Yep. Better than nothing. But not by much. So Dash, out there at Amber, what species of carp are you mostly catching? Is it like some of the frame side, mirror side carp, or is it more grass and common carp? Yeah, a little perch. Yep. Hopefully one of these perch will give me a skill up in spinning. Definitely use that. After this cast, might go ahead and pack the reels up and the rods up and move over to another spot since this one seems to have dried up a little bit here. If I had to guess, it's probably due to the temperature. I think the carp go deeper when it's hot. Doesn't look like any perch is going to get on this cast. Alright, let's give another shot a try. Let's see. Go there to the Old Faithful spot. Or potentially try down here in the pond area. That's the plan, gamer. Mostly it's set that way to give me some time to because I'm gonna have to change my entire setup for it from the way I have all of my monitors and everything set up currently. might even try to get a second cam set up at some point in the near future for my cats that are always napping around here. Maybe throw a cat nap cam down there. Alright. I actually haven't tried the pond since the update, so I'm going to go head over to that area and see if it's a little more active than it was before. I wasn't having a whole lot of luck up there prior to the update, but since the spot that I was active at has dried up a little bit, maybe it'll be down there now. Get the old Nacko champions. Well, appreciate the follow there, Zarkonis. Welcome to the stream. Long walk around the lake here. So where are you fishing since Archipelago is dried up, gamer? Tunguska? I think I saw someone in the chat the other day saying that they're having a lot of luck there. A bream spot? Okay, so I'm on Old Berg right now, Zarkonis, and I haven't checked since the update a couple days ago, but up to the day before the update, this area over here was very active for bream on Old Berg. And also this area up here, I was getting at nighttime a decent bite rate on bream. I don't recall which bait I was using. Probably, if I had to guess, was pearl barley. But both of those spots on Old Berg were fairly active prior to the update. And I know this stretch over here sometimes has a lot of bream on it. Anybody else has knows any active bream spots right now that's been confirmed in the last couple of days? Let Zarkonis know. I actually generally go after carp, so I haven't kept up too much on where the active bream spots are myself. Let's see where I'm at. I went too far. That's where I'm at. I'm going to go over here. Appreciate it, Zarkonis. Yeah, that's true, Gamer. Since the Norway's active, a lot of the bream farmers have been out there, I suppose. Alright, so I'm going to put this one back to algae and see what we can get. Oop, need to take the clip off before I cast. So I wish there was a hotkey to just turn the clip off immediately instead of having to go manually all the way back down. Would be nice. Go. All right, let's see if we can't have some. Oh, so this is what you have to watch out for. Eighth, when you're bottom fishing, sometimes you'll see this where you catch some weeds or something at the bottom, and I find that tends to drastically affect bite rates. So if you get that, just reel it and leave the line just a little more slack when you're reeling in. And let's actually go back to the telescopic rod out here. Try for some more bleak while those are doing their thing. And catch some more bait. Because I like free bait. One thing I actually noticed the other day that I had never noticed before that spooked me for a second. If you're close enough to the water and you bend down to use the shovel or the scoop, you get a pretty clear view of your character's face looking back up at you. Oh, missed whatever that was. Pay more attention to my floater here. So, Zarconis, do you have a favorite body of water you like fishing at so far? Well, the algae was being teased there, but whatever it was changed its mind. This recast. I usually don't have very many bleakhead out here, so I may switch this over to a worm. Try to get some of the random little gibble carp that like to hang around this area. Here's what I was talking about. If you haven't seen it before, your character's face pop up in the reflection. Get a good spot to see it. There we go. Spooked me the first time I saw that. What's happening here? Yep, nothing hitting this fly, so I'm going to switch this both to a larger hook. Go with, yeah, 14 is usually good. Throw some good old-fashioned worms on there. So far, this spot doesn't seem super active, but we are coming at a fairly off time for this lake. Usually middle of the night and middle of the morning is the best time. Here we go. What's going to be? Pulling up too soon. That's what it's going to be. Caught a nice worm. That's what I caught. Here we go. Now we're getting something on the potato. Not ready to commit to the bite yet. Come on, take the potato. There we go, a little sleeper, all right. I'll take some of those, might be an order for them. Again, the same thing happened as with the algae. They gave up. That's too bad. Wonder if it's smaller fish biting over here right now, so my hooks are just too big. There we go. Looks like a little tench. Yep. That's not bad. Usually there's a cafe order for 800 gram or larger tench out here, which is usually pretty quick, easy money. Alright, got something on the algae line here. What is it? Looks like a common carp, little common carp. Oh, it's a big gibble carp actually. Okay. Nothing spectacular, but I'll be worth something at least. Sometimes this little pond back here is pretty good for, I seem to have caught more black carp than usual out here when it's active, but it seems like the grass carp and black carp out here are not super active today. There's a little roach. Oh, a little gibble carp actually. Okay. These gibble carps, they're throwing me for a loop and a float fishing skill gain, so can't complain about that. We may have something on the line here. Yep. Alright, so this is on the algae again. Looks like it's nothing but gibble carp out here right now, which I guess we can catch a few more. Probably a cafe order to fill with them. Better than nothing. Cucumber up. Definitely feels like the pond is not the place to be right now, though. At least this side of the pond. Sometimes I think the little channel up here by the bridge is fairly active, so I might try that. Give this a couple more minutes and move over there. Get some more bait. Yeah, this area definitely is not yielding many results. Let's see what we got on the float rod here. One day it'll take the whole thing. There we go. Another gibble. So I guess if you're looking for gibble carp, this is the place to be. What did we get actually? 4. And I don't know if there's even an order form up right now, or if there is, what size. Might try to catch one more on the floater and then switch over to the bridge. Getting fairly close to level 21. Nothing major about that, but let's see. So level 22, unlock Seversky. So maybe when I do the next Norwegian sea trip, I'll be able to hit that and hopefully get another decent rod and reel set up. I think it's safe to say that this spot is no good right now. I'll try the bridge. See if I have any more luck over here. Ooh, that's a big common carp right there. That'd be a heck of a fight on a low end reel. Nice fish though, 8th. I think the common carp on my Adriatica that pulled me all across this lake on a stream over the weekend was only like 6 kilos. Nice. Yeah, there. I know a lot of people don't prefer that type of fishing with that long of a fight because it's just not as good silver or XP as hour per hour, and the wear and tear on your gear is a lot more. But I find it a lot of fun. Those big fights chasing around the lake. The fun of carp fishing. This spot's a little deeper. I probably need to set my, if I am going to float fish here, probably need to set it a little bit deeper. Down to a little over a meter. So far, it doesn't seem like this channel is active either, so this whole section may be dead right now. Give it a couple more minutes. If we don't get a bite, we'll head back to our spot over here where we started, and we're having some decent luck. Nice. Getting that bottom fishing going. So you going after a trophy brown trout. What we got here? This is pretty heavy, whatever it is. Another giant gibble carp. That's not giant, but what you need, gamer, I'm telling you, you just need your house full of trophy mussels, crayfish, and bleak. Okay, very nice. Hopefully, hopefully the trout will find your lure soon. All right, I think I want to head back to the first spot. We were actually having some better luck. This area over here is just not active. I don't think we need any more gibble carp. All right, head back over here. Over there by the bridge. Yeah, that spot's been pretty good since the update compared to the other spots on this lake. What bait were you using for that? Diced potato. The classic. So I'm thinking probably next week, mid to late next week. The weekends right now are a little hectic with everybody having graduations and stuff right now where I'm at, so haven't quite been able to do a weekend action, but I'm looking probably mid to late next week. I'm going to try to hit level 21 before I go. Trophy rig, very nice. Congrats there, Zarconis. It's a nice one to pull in. And one thing I was thinking about trying with the when I go back out there to the Norwegian Sea the next time is to try out some of the shoreline fishing if those spots are still active, because I'm curious to see if eliminating the time spent having to take the boat all the way out to the spots and back would be better for those limited time rentals or not. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on what people are catching out there. Got the P5 spot. Very good, very good. Is that your first trophy, Bream? Let's switch back to some spin fishing. Very nice. Haven't caught a Bream trophy yet myself. Let's see, I've got bleak and gibble carp and rough trophies is all I've gotten so far. Came pretty close to getting a trophy river mussel. I think 190 is where their trophy's at. Clip 15 over at the B5 down here. Yeah, that's where well, I wasn't catching trophies, but I was having 3 lines out there, and I was definitely catching bream back to back out there when I was catching some. Glad it's worked out for you. It's one of the things I like to do as well. I keep my eye out for where people are saying are good active spots, but part of what I love about Russian Fishing 4 over a lot of the other simulators is the way the fish change their preferences on where they are and what they're biting on. So it gives me something to do each day, is just walk around and see if I can find where I can get stuff. As compared to a lot of the other simulators, they're kind of fish by numbers. Once you know where they're at and what they bite on, depend on pretty much the only factors being time of day and weather, then you can always reliably do it, which is cool in its own right, but I like the discovery factor that this game offers. I wonder, let's see. All right. Have a good night, Zarkonix. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the next one. I think I'm going to try throwing a line out over here in the deep end with I had this thing set up for before. Let's put an 11 on with worm. Yeah, absolutely. So, and the one thing I'll say on Fishing Planet, and this is sort of why I enjoy the carp fishing on here, is the actual fighting of the fish. I find to be, even though it's very arcadey on Fishing Planet, it's a lot more engaging and active, and I think that's what draws me to the carp fishing so much on here, is you still get that active fight out of chasing them around the lake and everything. I don't know if that's the wind. Yeah, looks like that's just the wind. Oh, maybe not. Maybe there is something going after the potato here. Oh yeah. Now they're waking up. I'll just actually take the hook. We'll be in business. There we go. Got something on the algae. Oh no. The gibble carp chased us. Whatever's going after that potato is just not quite sure it's ready for the potato action. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you, fish. So I'm wondering. I usually don't have this much sort of nibbling on bottom feeding. So I'm wondering if that is a side effect of using the inline rig over the simple bottom rig. Because I can't look at that while they're in the water. Alright, there we go. Now something's on the potato line. Don't tell me it's another little gibble. Nope, little tiny grass carp. It was dibbling too. Are you using the, well, yeah, I guess with your level and bottom feed, you've got to use the bottom feed. Timon's coming after you there, gamer. Just pray he doesn't bite. Oh. All right, here's what you do. You bring out your ground bait slingshot, find you a rock, and just start taking the fish out that way. Bloodworms. And for another delicious cucumber. So I think when these were getting really active earlier, it was around 8 o'clock in game. So hopefully we should start seeing some action on these lines soon. This one over here, figured I'd give it a try, but doesn't seem like it's panning out. Sometimes you can get some bream and rough over in this deep hole, but it doesn't seem like it's active right now. Go back to some light spin fishing while those bottom rods do their thing. With any luck, I'll get some skill gains on this. That's how they get you, gamer. I think my worst luck on here was one day I was, it was actually, I think the first day I went out here to Oldburg, and within a few minutes, all three of my two bottom rods and my telescopic rod all got huge tinge on them and just immediately snapped the leaders. And basically I had to spend all the silver I had saved up at that time just to get back to fishing. It was brutal. Looks like everybody, all the fish on the lake may have gone back to hibernation here. And all those fills, gamer. Quit to main menu. That's my strategy with snags now. Yep, something's finally hitting the bottom rods over there again. So while you're out there fighting that time, and someone goes in and gets a world record week for the week on telescopic of them, just to rub it in. Of course it's a snack. You know what, Rod? You can just stay right here. Alright, looks like something's on the algae line. Potato line still doing its thing. Oh! A little tinge there. I used to fish in real life quite a bit. I did fly fishing and bass fishing. I haven't fished in a while lately just because the areas around me have gotten kind of obnoxious to deal with. But I am thinking about doing some filming some carp fishing and see if I can get an area where I can have a good enough signal to do that on stream, or if not, just record some and put it on YouTube. But I've gotten a bit of the itch to do that since there are some spots not far from where I live with grass carp. I guess the potato line gave up there. That's a shame. Yeah, we'll throw one last little bit of cheese out there for another tinge. See if we can catch something in the next 10 minutes or so, and then go cash the fish in. Jerk this around a few times before I give up. This is probably the, as I say almost every stream, the one change I'd love to see in this game is to make snags less of a pain in the butt. Yeah, I've never gone specifically fishing for carp myself in real life. It'll be my first time. I know my brother actually did a lot of bow fishing for carp out here. That's not area. I just want to go for some catch and release carp type of deal. Fly fishing I mostly liked for the technique and tying my own flies. This snag system, it's the pits. Especially when you're right over it, where you should be able to just kind of reach in and unstick it. Well, this rod can just stay here and think about what it's done. Give these a few more minutes to see if they get any new hits on them. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the bodies of water around where I live, the lakes especially, have gotten so overcrowded from joyriders that it's impossible to fish on them, and the rivers are not so great. So I have to drive way up into the mountains pretty much to have any luck fishing for useful things. But there are a few dedicated carp ponds where they stock them with carp and catfish that aren't too far away. I'm definitely interested in trying that out and filming it for some videos. If I do, I'll be sure to bring plenty of tea and pickled cucumbers. You can't fish without that. Yeah, it's a shame. I know that a lot of lakes where I grew up had dedicated areas for the joy riding, so that way if you were fishing, you could go off to the little side coast and everything would be fine because the joy riding wasn't allowed in those zones. But these lakes around here don't have any of that. It's all free open reign for the joy riders, which Nothing wrong with joyriding. Just wish that the lakes did something to protect some areas for fishermen. Got something on the cheese. Yeah, that's the nice thing about the coast, to do the fishing out there. Definitely not have to worry about joyriding. The other issue we've actually been having where I live is it's going to state legislation now. Hey, Hiko, it's going. Been catching some pretty good carp tonight, actually. Just having some discussion on IRL fishing. This is a tench. It's a big tench. We're having a big issue around here where people that own property along riverways are trying to challenge, saying, "Ooh, I think that's my biggest tench, actually, over 2 kilos. Nice." The cheese coming in clutch there. But they're basically trying to argue that they own the entirety of the rivers and streams from bank to bank in front of their property. And that's being challenged in courts because it's basically preventing anyone from being able to travel even through those waterways to fish. So that's been a big ordeal where I live. It's going through a lot of state legislation right now. Catch anything good today, Hiko? Yeah, I think what's triggered it where I'm at is we've had an influx here in our state of a lot of wealthier crowds from that were coming here from Los Angeles, New York, and New Jersey that are out here buying a lot of land and getting some waterfront property, and I think they're not accustomed to the more rural living and aren't clear on what the policies have been. Try and volt, getting pike. Okay. Oh, it was good that you get some Atlantics yesterday, though. Pike are my bane. No matter what size leader I put out there, pike find a way to bite through them. I am from the Georgia, gamer. Well, not necessarily from here, but that's where I currently am. Yeah, it's a shame to see people getting so greedy with their property rights like that. They're just really playing with the potatoes today. I think it's on there, but this inline rig, I'm just not as confident in the hooking as I was with the simple rig. Oh, wee babby, a fish fillet. Give it a couple more minutes here, and then go see about turning these fish in and hopefully making some decent silver for the night. We have one here. Looks like we're about even between gibble carp, grass carp, and tench. Our biggest being the 10 kilo grass carp we got. I'm curious at this 2.037 tench. Is that my largest tench so far? Oh, nope. Apparently at some point out here I caught a 3.58. Oh, that's right. I think I actually got this on my telescopic and nearly, I think I saw my life flash before my eyes when my telescopic started flashing red, pulling it in. Yeah. Well, I think the big problem is that the laws on the books are so gray. They're just not very definitive about like for streams and rivers here, for example. It basically says that if the water is navigable by watercraft, then the property owner doesn't own the rights to it from bank to bank. But there's not a good definition of like what kind of watercraft. Does that mean like a boat with a trolling motor or a kayak? So it's unclear on that. And then even if that were clear, that still kind of leaves a lot up to objectivity, because a lot of people's mind, if they can float across it, that's navigable. But that's where I think a lot of it stems from. Also, is that the laws in the book are just so hazy. Right. By technicality, in a little kayak, like, you can navigate everything. They need to define it a little better, but that's been an ongoing issue, because there's even been some property owners that are actually taking ropes and running them across the above the surface of the water, where their property is, so people can't go across the streams in that area. Yeah. It might be, a half an inch deep, but you can get across there if you put your heart and mind to it, right? I think go ahead and pack these up and go see how much silver we've got in all these fish and how many of them are going to get turned into bait. Be sure to shame this rod along the way that can't get itself out of a snag 2 feet from the shore. Shameful. Okay, I can do that. First, let's check and see if I have any cafe orders. No gibble or anything? Nope. Don't have anything to turn in here. Alright, so our total fish value for everything is 111 silver. It's not bad. We've been out here for an hour and a half, so a lot of it was walking around trying spots. So not too shabby at all. Let's see, go ahead and get the bleak sold. That's a nice little 360 silver bleak. From that, common carp, that was pretty good silver there. Sell all the roaches for hardly anything. Sell the frog, since I don't have the skill yet to turn those into bait. Alright, gibble is where I need to pay a little more attention. Yeah, so I think right now my rule is going to be, if it's worth less than 1.5 silver, I'm going to go ahead and turn it in. And I can turn it into bait, I will. But these are all valid candidates for selling. Perch, you can all go. Alright, so tench, this should have some good money here. I'll cut this one up into bait, but otherwise made almost 30 silver in tench. So that's not bad at all. And now for the big boys, the old grass carp. Total 61 silver in grass carp. Not bad at all. I am going to turn these 5 into bait. So, 59 silver roughly. Pretty good, pretty good. Get those suckers up for some fillets. If we're lucky, maybe get a skill gain here. Probably not though. Yeah, not too bad. A little over 100 silver for an hour and a half. Puts me a little closer towards getting the next rod and reel, which I think I am going to just go for another Titan and Fortuna setup so I can more consistently go after bigger fish, since the Adriatica, as much as I love fighting with it, it is holding me back from putting larger hooks on and going after more consistently large fish. So getting the Titan and the Fortuna feeder puts me in at less than the cost of just getting the HSV. But definitely something to work towards on the HSV regardless. And I think we made about 50,000 or so XP. Pretty good. And I know I got at least a gain in bottom fishing. And overall, not doing too shabby, not doing too shabby. I think that's probably where I'll call it for tonight. And I'll have another stream up again in a couple of days, do some more carp fishing, and start figuring out when I want to do the next Norwegian sea trip, and possibly maybe discuss what the route to take is at the Norwegian Sea next time. Last time we kind of just stuck around the hole that was hot at the time, the 41-meter hole, but we did play with the sonar the last stretch of it, and we're having some pretty good luck with that. So I want to either try using the sonar some more or try fishing from the shore just to see if reducing that travel time on the boat helps offset everything. So try 2 spinning rods with the Involk. Yeah, I can try that. What sort of let's see, what sort of lures and stuff would I be looking at for that? I know here they'll be more expensive, but just to get an idea, because my lure selection is not great. What do I have here? Lures. Yeah, that's about all I've got as far as lures go. Just use the Titan. You just troll with that. It's probably not bad. Express Fishing Heavy, which I don't... Is that the one I've got? I've got... no, I've got the Corona and the Dynamic. So, let's see. Spinning rods. So, you suggest this heavy rod here. Okay, so that's not too bad. 220 silver. I won't need to get I've already got a decent leader and line for that. So really it'll just be, so get that, and what lure would be looking at? $7.7. Yeah, okay. I may have big enough. I'm not sure what my largest leader is right now, but I'll ask around if I don't have big enough leader for that. Go back to my lures again. Snatcher S002. So I don't have that. Is that a spoon or a spinner? I'm assuming since it's trolling, it's a spinner. Snatcher. Oh, it's a wobbler. So I'm not quite high enough to use wobblers yet. It's at 35. Yeah, best I can do is jigging so far. We could always try maybe taking the Titan and the Adriatica to Quarry Lake, because I do want to go to Quarry Lake anyways to get some cheese, to make some cottage cheese dough, since that's a pretty common place to go do it. So we could try that, and then even if the trolling doesn't work out there, I know there's a couple spots that are good for bottom fishing for char. So that sounds like a good idea. I'll plan for that on the next stream. We'll do my first Quarry Lake visit. Good idea, gamer. Eat some cucumbers here. And so, does anyone know if you have to stay logged on when you're eating for the food to take its full effect, or if you like change maps or something while it's filling up, if it still does that? Yeah, I know the Quarry is a pretty popular spot. I was originally looking forward to going there, but then I ended up when I went to the Norwegian Sea, I unlocked Bear Lake pretty much at the same time I unlocked Quarry, and I couldn't resist it. And Bear Lake was originally when I first went out there super active. A lot of really big carp out there, but it's a little bit dry right now. But yes, that's what I'll plan. Next one, I'll do some Quarry Lake, do some trolling and some bottom fishing out there. Get a little change of scenery. Does Quarry have a cafe? That's awesome. Yes, I wish Bear Lake had a cafe. Because that's one thing even when like on this one, there wasn't really any orders that I could quite fulfill. I do like having the cafe orders, especially at a new lake, to give me an idea of some things to try and search for. So that's good. I'll check the cafe at Quarry too, see if we can't fill some orders out. But that'll do for this stream. Thanks everybody for coming out. Good fishing, tight lines, and I will catch everybody next time.